Hi, this is Stan Hustad, and this is for you. That's what I oftentimes used to say many years ago when I did a late-night radio program that was broadcast all over the world. So here into the What It Takes, the WIT studio, I brought my old souvenir antique microphone. Now, I didn't actually use this microphone. I'm not that old, but it's always been one that is kind of carried with me as kind of my signature, and I use it from time to time as a bit of a prop in the programs that I do. So this is for you. Now, the story behind that is that I discovered something very unusual, and that really helped me understand what was going on. I got in the habit of doing this. Now, my program was late night. It was where it was kind of soft music and a little bit of musings, you know, kind of a chill down, reflective moment. That was something I really loved to do and had a great time doing it. And did it for about 3 hours every night, 5 nights a week. So we worked very hard at it. What would happen is, of course, people would call in or they'd write in. That was long before emails, but people would make requests. They wanted me to play a certain song or perhaps to recite a poem. We did that occasionally. Or talk about a certain subject, or they wanted to pass on greetings to a friend, you know, a birthday greeting, an anniversary greeting. And because it was quite a community of people from literally all around the world, we oftentimes did that. But here's what I discovered. Oftentimes, before I would fulfill the request, they'd say, well, Stan, would you play this? Or Stan, would you say hello to my grandmother on her birthday? And I would say, and I think this kind of rings a bell, I think there was a woman named Janine from Jamaica. That kind of rolls back in my memories. And after I would say this, I'd say, Janine, this is for you. And what I discovered, people love to hear, this is for you. They told me how much that meant to them. That simple statement on a radio program, this is for you. Now, a number of you who've taken one of my classes, or particularly a couple of my classes, particularly the one on how to sell yourself, and I talk about the secret sign and the Super Bowl commercial, you know that I'm very big on saying is, treat every person you meet as if they're the most important person in the world. Remember, everybody wants you to treat them and tell them that they're important. And so when I would say to somebody, this is for you, it really touched a good nerve in them. They enjoyed that. And that's part of where I learned the idea that in giving people that kind of personal and specific recognition was a very important and powerful thing to do. And that's why I say, this is for you. Now, what I try to do every week here is to get connected with you, 5 or 6 minutes. I'd like to hear from you. The number of people continues to go and grow as we have more classes and courses, and we're continuing to do a new course every week. We just recently did one on Donald Trump, who is the man who is running for president, who has never been a politician. He's been totally a businessman, an entrepreneur, and now he might become the President of the United States of America, obviously a very powerful and influential office. And what I do in the class, I show you some of the secrets of his success and about the entire phenomenon and what that says about us. And in particular, I point out in the class that he learned how to use the media, radio and television. And you need to learn that lesson. Going forward, if we want to be successful in our life and business, we have to understand how to use the radio and television media. And throughout this year, I'm going to be having some classes and courses for you on how to be a broadcaster, how to be a television broadcaster, how to use internet radio and television. And by the way, we're even going to start an internet radio program called What It Takes, and you'll be able to not only listen to the radio program, you'll be able to actually be on the radio program. And I'm looking forward to doing that. That's probably going to start up around the second quarter of this year. And speaking of that kind of thing, many of you may know that this week in the United States of America, American football. Now, it's very different from the kind of universal football that many of you are aware of. But American football, kind of a rugged sport, they have their championship, and they call it the Super Bowl. And approximately 150 million people from all over the world watch it. And they watch it almost as much for the television commercials in which companies spend millions of dollars to get a 30-second or a 60-second commercial, knowing that millions of people will see it. And in a recent course which I've just put together, I think you'd really enjoy it, I teach you how to actually do your own commercial. Can you imagine what would happen if you were given the chance for you and your career and perhaps your small business to actually advertise for 60 seconds on television to 150 million people? What would you say? Well, you know what? If you want to be good in life and business, you ought to think about that. And in my class, I teach you how to actually do a powerful 1-minute message. I'm hoping that you'll take time to check it out. Now, in the year ahead of you, I want you to learn how to do that. You need to learn how to use the radio and television and broadcast media. I want you to also, I'm hoping that by the end of the year, some of you will start having your own course. You'll begin to have your own online class, because that'll help you, and that will help build your reputation and increase your impact and your influence and perhaps your income. So those are all things that I'm hoping for you. I'd like to hear from you. How can I help you? What are the kinds of classes and courses you'd like to have? And I'm just simply encouraging you to keep learning, keep teaching, keep growing. And I'm grateful that you give me the honor and privilege to be, from time to time, your teacher and mentor. All the best to you. Please be in touch. Stan at stanhusted.com. That's Stan at stanhusted.com. Again, I appreciate you a great deal, because what I do truly is for you.